Ethan Cross sat alone at the outdoor cafe table, watching Christmas shoppers hurry past with bags and laughter. At 38, he'd built Cross Industries into a billion-dollar empire. But on Christmas Eve, he had nowhere to go and no one waiting for him. His assistant had invited him to her family gathering, but Ethan had declined. He didn't want to be anyone's pity guest. His parents had retired to Florida, his brother lived overseas, and his ex-wife had remarried and started a new family. Ethan had chosen work over relationships for so long that now, when he wanted connection, there was no one left. He was staring into his coffee when he heard a small voice. "Excuse me, mister?" Ethan looked up to see a little girl, maybe 4 years old, standing beside his table. She wore a dark coat over a red dress, boots, and clutched a teddy bear. Her blonde hair was pulled into pigtails. "Hi there. Are you lost? Where are your parents?" "My mommy is in the store." The little girl pointed to a shop across the street. "I saw you from the window. You look really sad." "I'm okay, sweetheart." "No, you're not. You have the same face my mommy has sometimes." The sad of a Nawana smile face. The little girl tilted her head. "Are you alone for Christmas?" Ethan felt his throat tighten. "Yes, I am." "That's no good. Nobody should be alone for Christmas." The little girl's face brightened. "You should come have a party at my place. We are having dinner and cookies and everything. Mommy always makes too much food anyway. It's very sweet, but I'm sure your mommy wouldn't want a stranger." "You're not a stranger. You're the sad man from the cafe." "I'll tell mommy, and she'll say yes. She always helps people who are sad. Wait here." Before Ethan could protest, the little girl ran back across the street into the shop. He probably should have left, should have avoided the awkwardness of a child's misguided invitation, but something kept him in his seat. 5 minutes later, the little girl returned, holding the hand of a young woman who looked to be in her late 20s. She had blonde hair like her daughter's and wore a simple winter coat. She looked embarrassed, but kind. "I'm so sorry," the woman said. "My daughter Sophie has absolutely no filter." "Sophie, you can't just invite strangers to our house." "But mommy, he's all alone for Christmas. And you always say we should be kind to people who are lonely." The woman sighed, then looked at Ethan with genuine sympathy. "Are you really alone for Christmas?" "But please, don't feel obligated. I'm Emma Richardson. And apparently, my daughter has already decided you're coming to our Christmas dinner." Emma smiled. "Honestly, it's just the two of us. We don't have much, but if you'd like to join us, you're welcome. No pressure." Ethan should have said no. He should have thanked them and gone back to his penthouse. But instead, he heard himself say, "I'm Ethan, and I'd love to come. If you're sure it's not an imposition." It's not. Sophie's right. Always make too much food. And nobody should be alone on Christmas. Emma and Sophie's apartment was smaller, one bedroom, in an older building that clearly had seen better days. But it was warm and decorated with handmade ornaments and lights. A small artificial tree stood in the corner, decorated with what looked like years of collected ornaments. "It's not much," Emma said, seeing Ethan take in the modest space. "But it's home. It's wonderful. Thank you for having me." Over dinner, a simple but delicious meal of roasted chicken, vegetables, and homemade rosathon learned their story. Emma was a single mother, working as a waitress while taking online classes to finish her nursing degree. Sophie's father had left when Emma was pregnant, wanting nothing to do with parenthood. "It's been just the two of us for 4 years," Emma explained, while Sophie colored at the table. "It's hard sometimes, but we manage. We have each other, and that's what matters." "Mommy works really hard," Sophie added, seriously. "She goes to school and work and still reads me stories every night." "Your mommy sounds pretty amazing," Ethan said. "She is." After dinner, they made cookies together. Ethan, who hadn't baked anything in decades, found himself laughing as Sophie showed him how to use cookie cutters and decorate with frosting. "You're not very good at this," Sophie observed, looking at his lopsided reindeer. "Sophie," Emma said. "It's okay. Ethan laughed. She's right. I'm terrible at this, but I'm having fun. As the evening progressed, Ethan felt something he hadn't felt in years: genuine connection. Emma was easy to talk to, funny and warm despite her circumstances. Sophie was charming and wise beyond her years, and their small apartment felt more like home than his expensive penthouse ever had. Can I ask you something? Emma said after Sophie had gone to bed. What does a man in an expensive suit do alone at a cafe on Christmas Eve? I'm a workaholic who let every relationship in my life fall apart because I was too busy building a company. I have everything money can buy and no one to share it with. That sounds lonely. It is. I didn't realize how lonely until your daughter asked me why I was sad. I've been telling myself I'm fine for so long that I stopped noticing I wasn't. Sophie has a gift for seeing through pretenses. Drives me crazy sometimes, but it's also beautiful. She sees people, really sees them. You're doing an incredible job with her. I'm doing my best. Some days, that feels like enough. Other days, I worry it's not. She's happy, kind, perceptive, and generous. That's everything. You're enough, Emma. Over the following weeks, Ethan found reasons to see Emma and Sophie. He helped Emma with her car when it broke down. He brought Sophie books about things she loved. He joined them for pizza nights and park visits. And somewhere between building gingerbread houses and watching Sophie's preschool play, Ethan fell in love with both of them. I need to be honest about something, Ethan told Emma 3 months after that Christmas Eve. I'm not just a guy in a suit. I'm the CEO of Cross Industries. I'm worth about $3 billion. I didn't tell you because I wanted you to know me just Ethan before you knew about the money. Emma was quiet for a moment. $3 billion. Yes. And you spent Christmas Eve at a cafe alone? Yes. That's the saddest thing I've ever heard. Emma took his hand. Ethan, I don't care about the money. I care that you showed up when Sophie invited you. That you decorated cookies, even though you were terrible at it. That you've been really here for the past 3 months. That's what matters. 6 months after Sophie had invited him to come have party at my place, Ethan proposed with Sophie's help and approval. Emma, I was alone at a cafe on Christmas Eve, convinced I'd chosen success over everything that mattered. Then Sophie invited me to your home. That invitation changed my life. You welcomed me into your family when I had nothing to offer but loneliness and bad cookie decorating skills. Emma, will you marry me? Let me be part of this family officially. At their wedding, Sophie served as flower girl and gave a toast. I saw Mr. Ethan at the cafe, and he looked really sad. So I told him to come to that party at our place. Mommy said I shouldn't invite strangers, but I knew he needed us. And we needed him too. We just didn't know it yet. So if you see someone who's sad and lonely, you should invite them to your party. Because sometimes the best families start with an invitation. Sometimes the loneliest millionaires sit in cafes on Christmas Eve. Sometimes a 4-year-old's invitation changes 3 lives. Sometimes a small apartment with handmade decorations is more valuable than any mansion. And sometimes being invited to have party at my place is the greatest gift anyone could receive. If this story touched your heart, please like and share it. Subscribe for more stories about unexpected invitations and finding family. Leave a comment about when someone's kindness changed your holiday. Your stories inspire us all.